Man, listen, man, it's your boy DJ Academics in the building. I feel like this is a life moment for me, man. Not even a career moment, a life moment. Let me tell you this, man. You know, I feel like I've done my thing when it comes to being a personality and a media personality when it comes to music. But what a lot of people don't know, some do. Man, I was hailed right here on this rock called Jamaica, man. I was born in Spanish Town Hospital. You know, I'm from Kilsyth, you know. That's Clarendon, if some of you guys don't know what it is.
Yes.
I'm from the country. I'm a country boy.
Yes.
You know, I made it all the way to the United States. And eventually, I began to have a whole impact on the hip-hop culture.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that, I never forget my roots.
Yes.
When it comes to reggae, dancehall, when it comes to even soca.
Yes.
These are the things that gave me my musical start. Ever before I knew what was really hip-hop is in its pure form.
Sure.
When I went to America in 2001, I realized that Jay-Z and Nas were beefing, and I seen rap beef happen there. But long before that, I seen Bone T and Beanie get into it.
Yes.
I say all that to say, I'm here sitting with my favorite artist of all time. I don't care what genre. A lot of you guys might know this guy by many different names. Some might call him Adidja Palmer. Some might call him the dancehall hero. I personally call him the world boss.
World boss.
But if you're looking for him on Spotify and YouTube and everything else when he's running up the charts, you're probably gonna see him as Vybz Kartel.
Yes.
Vybz, I'm honored.
It's a pleasure.
I'm honored.
It's a pleasure.
I'm honored to be sitting with you, brother.
Yes, yes.
All
yes.
right.
The feeling is mutual, cause you know your respect big. Trust me.
Hey, let me tell you this, man.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you have to forgive me a little bit because it's still a little bit surreal sitting with you.
I understand.
One of the reasons it's surreal is because, man, about 13 years ago,
yes,
the whole world told you.
Yes, yes.
You were my favorite artist then, my favorite artist now.
Yes.
But I seen you go through a lot of trials and tribulations. You got locked up.
Yes.
You spent 13 years in prison. 13
years, man. 12 years, 10 months, and days, man. 14 hours.
Listen, I would be here sitting with him for 5 hours if I got to do the backstory. So we do the backstory different time. We want to get up to the regular. For all my people, we got to get up to the. We got to bridge the story.
Yes.
His life is a whole 5-part movie.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question. September 30th, 2011. You get arrested at a hotel.
Yes.
At the time, I believe they had said that they put let's say it was weed and some other stuff. I want to know your mindset then, because you were literally on top of the world.
Yes, I was.
What was your mindset even when that happened?
I mean, when I just got arrested, like you said, they arrested, they came into the room and they found some spliff. You know what I mean?
Did you have any, because, you know, even with some of the hip-hop cases, they'd be like, oh, this guy knew he was going to get locked up. Did you have any idea?
No, I didn't. But they always locked me up. So when they came into the room that day, it was like, oh, whatever. Searched the room, found weed, small amount of weed. It was already rolled.
Yeah.
So they was like, oh, you're under arrest. I'm like, bro, whatever, man. So they brought me to the station. When they brought me to the station now, then the arresting officer comes back around after a few hours and says, yo, we're going to charge you for a murder. Huh? Yes. So initially, when the officer came into the room, he said to me, they're looking for shoes, which is like a nickname for guns. So they said they were looking for shoes, and I said,
so the officers used that word as a nickname too?
Yes, they had used it.
Okay.
So I said the only shoes I have are those pair of Clarks, because I actually was in a pair of Clarks at the time.
Yeah. You had a big song called Clarks?
I had a big song called Clarks. And the officer was like, no, we're not looking for those shoes. Anyway, they didn't find any shoes, obviously. Then they found the weed, charged me. And a few hours later, while I'm at the station, they said they're going to charge me for murder.
There's an infamous video with it looks like the media is filming you, but you're in cuffs like this. You had big long dreads.
Yes.
And people, and I don't know if you noticed, did you feel like, well, this got to be more than just weed?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, like, because they were taking me to several houses that I owned or I used to live. So they brought me even to Portmore where my mother used to live. They brought me to my mom's house. They brought me to 2 of my houses in Kingston. So I was like, nah, this can't be, this is bigger than it. And the media was literally driving behind us.
Right.
The whole way. That was crazy though.
Were you nervous?
Never.
Really?
I can never be nervous, man. I don't know what that is.
You've been through the gamut. I remember before you got locked up, I remember when you go up on Cliff Hughes and you said, man, they're out to get me.
Yes, yes.
You said, they're out to get me and I'm worried about my life and I'm worried about my freedom.
Yes. That, funny enough, that was when I was being
harassed.
Yes, for want of a better word. I was being harassed. And allegedly because Mavado and myself didn't do Sting. Remember?
Yeah,
and
I remember.
I kept my own party on the very same night.
That got shut down and raided.
That got shut down. It got raided, shut down. It was packed to capacity. You know what I mean? We even had to start charging like triple. Yeah, so it was crazy. And so ever since then, it's been a thing.
Wow.
I don't know.
You get locked up, they tell you, we're charging with murder.
Yes. But I still wasn't sweating it because I'm like, they lock me up all the time and say, oh, we're investigating this or investigating that.
They were calling you, you know, Americans might not understand this term, but I help them understand it. They were calling you a Don at one point. And I remember you doing several interviews and they said, well, Vybz Kartel is a Don. If you don't know what a Don is like someone who's like an area leader who has so much control, he would be essentially what the government would be for that area.
Yes.
So he would deliver crime, he would deliver law and order, which means punishments or whatever, but he would move and operate like he's above the law.
Yeah.
You vehemently said at that time, that's not true. And I also said, because you said something that was so profound. He said, how could I be that and I'm making, and I have time to make music, do concerts?
Exactly.
Didn't make sense to me.
Didn't make sense. But it's just the influence.
Okay.
That was the problem, the influence that Vybz Kartel has. You know what I mean? So that's why they try to label me as that, but I'm not. I'm just an influential person. So if I go into the community, everyone is gonna come. The good, the bad, you understand, the indifferent. So that's it. And everyone loves me in my community, so.
You know, and I'll try to watch everything you're on because I think you're a very, I think you're a genius. And I use that word and that phrase lightly. I'll use it lightly, I mean, because I really believe that. I was watching you on the Fix interview.
Oh,
man, you really put up on him, and I like.
Yeah, man, Fix was crazy.
What you said is that you you solemnly believe that the reason you got incarcerated was because of the influence.
Of course.
Now, I personally believe, you know, I see a lot of people, like when people talk about Putin, when they're talking about King Jong-un, they talk about even when they talk about Donald Trump.
Yes.
When people always talk about people having power and power over people, and I always say the strongest version of power is influence.
True that.
So when I heard you say it's because the influence, I said, okay.
Of course.
How do you think that manifests? Because let me tell you this, Milan Amobi, and I'm talking to a few people. Some still no agree all the way with you.
Yes.
You know what they said?
Yes.
They said Kartel have everybody bleach out, tattoo.
Yeah.
And they're talking about your influence.
Yes.
Was there ever a point that you realized your influence was maybe something that could be threatening?
Yes, of course. Because I've never not been influential in my community or in the industry. You know what I mean? Even when I just came out, you know what I mean? Everyone, or most of the guys that came after me, they copied my style, my dressing, the jerseys, then the Clarks, then you know what I mean? Anything. If I say we're gonna wear this, remember I came out with an orange bandana.
Yeah.
And everyone started wearing orange bandanas. So yes, I understand my influence, and I also understand that
understand
it's
it then?
dangerous. Of course. Of course I understood it, and I capitalized on it. Because remember, I've been doing the merch. I've been running the club. I've been forming the record company, signing artists, selling condoms, selling alcohol. You know what I mean? Sold clothes, I sold shoes. I sold almost everything.
But it's bigger than that. You know, I was
Except
having
my soul.
it's bigger than that. I was having a conversation with a young man over his birthday.
Yeah.
And I've said this many times on the stream. And you know, I'm not even trying to flatter you, but this is, for me, the reality.
Yeah.
I said, you know why Vybz Kartel is, to me, not only my favorite artist, but I think he's one of the greatest artists, no matter what genre.
Yes.
I said, let's bring it to hip-hop.
Yes.
I said, if we was to bring Vybz Kartel to hip-hop and sum it up,
Yes.
we would have to say we have an artist that has the lyrical ability of an Eminem,
Yes.
who has the swag of a Jay-Z,
Yes.
who the girls gonna love,
Yes.
and could still be cool enough with the raps, like a Drake,
Yes.
like a Future.
True.
And also, we gotta bring back people who even dead.
Yes.
All respect to the great late Tupac Shakur,
Yes,
but
yes.
somebody who his music don't only move the club,
Yes.
his music move the people.
Big difference. Good. I like that.
And I summed it up and I said, if you ever wonder why I like this artist, I respect him so much, there's so much different facets to it.
Yeah, true that.
Did you ever, you know, while it was happening, because there was a point they were even trying to say, when you said Gaza, it was a cult.
Yes, true that.
Did you ever realize that you were hitting so many bases with what you were doing?
Yes, because I planned it. Like I said, you know, I like to plan what I do, you know what I mean, and orchestrate it and execute it in a specific way for a desired result. So yes, I definitely knew what I was doing. I did it on purpose, and it worked. And it was also the reason why I did 13 years in prison and still never lost my influence, still never lost that pulling power. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was that. I always knew that and recognized it.
Did you ever maybe like that reasoning with yourself to say, when you have that power, because I felt that if there was any time, and we've seen this in hip hop, you know, shout out to my, you know, late great that was in hip hop, XXXTentacion.
Yeah.
He told the people, he said, all y'all come to the court and whatever, and
Yeah.
his fans reacted, you know, and the court didn't like it.
Yes.
If you had said, hey, listen, if they find me guilty,
Yes.
I want you guys to start hell.
Yes.
They would have.
Yeah,
But
true.
you never really did that. You
No.
never you
No.
never went over that line. When you have all that power, how do you figure out how to deal with it?
I mean, it's like the saying that they say, with great power comes great responsibility. So you have to be careful, remember, because even though I'm very influential, I'm still not the government. They have the ultimate power. So we still have to be careful and navigate in a specific way, in a certain way. So, but I would never really tell people to do anything like that, though. You know what I mean? That's not me.
That's what they say Trump did. They said Trump said, if I don't win, go out of Capitol. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But people do a lot of things in my name, but that doesn't mean they did it with my permission.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, I remember way back they used to be like, well, this artist got buckled. That's because you're influenced. Like
Exactly.
you're radicalizing people.
Yes, but
you
I'm not telling anyone, like, go throw bottles. No, I would never do that. But people are gonna, like, my fans love me so much. Because remember, Gaza Nation, I don't even call them fans, I call them Gaza citizens. So we're like a nation by ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Gaza Nation is that powerful entity that Vybz Kartel created. It's, like you said, a cult-like following. You know what I mean?
How do you create that? So in hip hop, there's so many people they thirst for that.
Yes.
Because music these days is fly by night.
True.
Where like you're hot for 2 years,
Yes.
maybe 3, and then you
Yes.
cool off.
Yes.
People want their fans, or maybe you don't call them fans, whoever who is listening to you, to have this undying loyalty to you.
Yes.
And we don't see that nowadays. So how did you create it? And is it possible for people to draw to an artist now like that?
I mean, well, to answer the last question first, I mean, what men have done, man can do. So you never know. Maybe in the future there will be that person. You know what I mean? Because I guess maybe every generation has their kind of legendary figure in entertainment, in sports. sometimes it might skip a generation. Because trust me, I don't think we're going to get back a Usain Bolt anytime soon.
True.
You know what I mean? So
you're right.
that's going to skip several generations. You know what I mean? Oh, by the way, Usain Bolt, remember, we have a race.
What type of race? Foot race?
What you mean?
You're not a race.
Never run left him.
Come on.
Trust me. I told him at the stadium.
You dropped the song name winning her. Come on.
Yes. I told him I'm going to break his record. I'm going to run 9.57.
Not in the 30 meter.
No, in the 100 meters. I'm telling you. Watch, I can do it.
Hey, that was a little bit of even that though, right? You get incarcerated. The government is making it like when we in foreign and we all watch it, right?
Yeah.
The press, Jamaica Observer, everybody, they're saying this guy is a guy who's been one of the biggest proprietors of crime.
Yes.
He's one of the biggest. You know, he's like a mob boss. He's like he's like a don.
Yes.
But we've seen a lot of people. Even Usain Bolt, who on the biggest stage, shows you a lot of love.
Yes, he does.
How do you even even deal with that? Because, or how do you even view that? Because you know how they were painting you out to be.
I know, but like I said, and I understand why that image got publicized. Because I even have a song where I say it. I'm saying, they say I am a Don. Don't call me that. I only help ghetto youths. You understand?
Yeah.
So, because everywhere I go, the ghetto youths love me, they say I'm a Don. Because remember, ghetto people, you know, they like to associate us with gangsterism and violence and crime. So that's where that came from. Like, people love me. If I walk in the streets right now, it's chaos.
Do you think it was all worth it? So for example, when we think about like even
wow, that's a good question.
Great people like even Bob Marley, right?
Yes.
And I'd even go outside music. We'll go to Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela did 27 years in prison, right?
Yes.
Several prisons.
Yes.
We have Bob Marley, who we end up realizing when violence was inflicted on him, there was a political agenda there where people felt like maybe he was overstepping his boundaries as an artist that was loved, and he was
influence.
Influence.
Thank you very much. So it has always been about influence, but go ahead.
So now when you're free, do you say, you know what, those 13 years taught me a good lesson. I'm going to leave certain shit for what are the political entities or whatever entities that is, because it's now shown you they'll take your freedom. You never know if they'll take your life. Number one, do you regret? Maybe, not, again, just regret getting so much into the fray, because I watch you speak at some university before you got locked up.
Literally like days before.
Yes. So again, did you regret that? And then now, do you say, okay, I still have all that, but I'm gonna move different?
I don't regret anything because I'm still here. I'm still alive. Who knows what would have happened had I not been incarcerated? Like you said, you know what I mean? I could have been under the ground, but I'm still here and I give thanks to life. I have no regrets. But, and as messed up as it sounds, I'm grateful for the experience, for what I went through, because it made me not a different person. I think it made me more conscious, more aware of who I am, the power that I wield, and how to use it in a different way.
Do you believe that you were misusing it before then?
Yes, but not to the extent that they painted it.
Okay.
Yeah, not to that extent.
Now explain that. So, like, in what ways? Because you know, as you know, again, I'm someone who I feel like you're the teacher. I've studied you for many years.
Yes.
And I remember even prior to you going in, you definitely spoke of, you know, even your stance on religion.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You were a spiritual person, not necessarily religious.
No.
And you spoke about how religion, you know, definitely encourage a lot of division in society.
True that. I mean, now, go ahead, sorry.
No, well, I was going to say, now that you being released, I see you say God is the greatest.
Yes.
Now, that might not be as religious, but, you know, people might be like, oh, okay, he's realizing that there's a higher power that's really controlling all of this.
Yes.
As before, some people thought that you were almost trying to equate yourself with some of those beings.
Yes. No, I wasn't. But that's the thing. People, my fans, put me on that pedestal. It was never, I've never come out and said I think I'm a demigod or I think I'm a, you know what I mean? I've never done that. And I've always been spiritual, like you said, but I mean, going to prison and finding a deeper meaning to what God is. Figuring out that God is not just without, but He's within. You know what I mean? And that opened my mind to a different level. It's like it unlocked another universe for me. And that gave me extra strength. Like Tylenol.
Hey, you know.
So, you know what I mean? So that's why I tattooed this on my forehead while I was in prison.
Really?
Yeah, God is the greatest. I have it on my face twice.
Wow.
Love God. Yeah.
Do you believe while incarcerated? I always wondered about your mental. You know how much rumor there are about you when you're in a jail?
Chief.
Some people tell me, say, yo, nah, man. Him lock up from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then let him out and go on yard, and how powerful you are that it was no way that you were really incarcerated. And were you really like, because people always say Jamaican, like you see American jail is different. They put you in some Supermax.
Yes.
You can't get anything. We see you go live in jail.
Yes.
Yo, trust me, I was one of the people I say, yo, let's just act like I believe him. They been singing all, even though the one I'm singing. The only thing he ain't mentioned was the new iPhone. So
exactly.
Were you really incarcerated as how people believe incarceration is in Jamaica?
I mean,
you can't talk no man.
I mean, I was locked up because I was in prison. But I mean, was I suffering? No, I'm Vybz Kartel. You know what I mean? So we're gonna do what we do. If you understand what I'm saying? So yeah.
Well, so Americans don't like.
No, not like American prison. No, Jamaica prison is different. But don't get me wrong, Jamaica prison is rough, you know.
Yeah.
It's rough, especially if you have no money.
Well, we want to know, what's prison life for Vybz Kartel? Because when people talk about you like you are a guy of so much power and resources.
Yes.
What does that look? We know what if someone don't have nothing and they get incarcerated, what it look like. How it look like for you when you get locked up that day?
Okay, let me just say this.
Them a boy you up on him and just violate you?
Hell no. But I'll say this though. I got, like, if it was clothes or food or any, you know what I mean, that's the least. I was wearing a Rolex in prison, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I was wearing a Rolex. So it's not like, it's different, but it's still prison. I mean, I couldn't leave.
Did they ever bother you?
No. That got searched a lot, obviously, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But like to say they pressured me or no, I wasn't targeted.
Yeah, so when people hear
prison.
like people hear about Young Thug in American jails and Lil Durk, and they're like, well, somebody might step to him or they might do. Was anybody trying to bot up the world boss in that jail?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No,
but
sir.
how was even dealing with
that would be a terrible idea. No.
You know, quote unquote, the state or really, the country.
Yeah.
They could search you at any time.
Yeah.
They're violating your privacy a lot.
Yeah, but it is what it is, man. I mean, I'm a Jamaican. We used to it. Not to say it's right, but it is what it is. And that's why I like that slang. It is what it is, man. You know what I mean? I did 13 years, now I'm out. It is what it is.
What was the worst day? Well,
the first day.
The first day was
the
worst
day. The first day was the worst day, always.
I thought the worst day was like, sometimes because, as a fan, I'm waiting for these big decisions. Oh, will he get an appeal? Will this?
Okay.
And it crushed a lot of people who wanted to see you. And to the point, even when it got to this last one with the Privy Council, like a lot of people said, oh no, it might be over.
Yes.
Right? Like if the UK might not look at him like how Jamaica would look at him.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Was when the days you found out those decisions, you weren't crushed?
No, I couldn't be. Like I said, I couldn't afford to be. I had too many people depending on me. You understand? I did 13 years, bro. When I cried like when I came out. And it hit me like, yo, bro, you free, nigga. You know what I mean? So it was a tears of joy. But while I was in prison, I cried twice when my mother-in-law died, when Madsus, my charger or co-accused, his mother died as well while we were in prison. So
those are only 2 times?
Only 2 times. I couldn't afford to cry. I have a bunch of people depending on me. You know, like you're in America, you got to send money to Jamaica to family.
Yeah.
I was in prison still sending money all over the world. Still have to take care of people. Still have to have a career. Still have to be recording. Still have to fight my illness, which is a dangerous illness. Graves' disease is no joke. So I didn't have the luxury of being weak. I didn't have that luxury to pity myself. That's some bitch shit. You know what I mean? So we had to be strong.
No, man, you're different. Hey, so when you get in, because this is the most fascinating thing. Because, you know, I remember showing my like Spotify wrap up and stuff for the year.
Yeah.
And I must say, they're like, when I'm putting people on you, the American people, I said, I said, Vybz Kartel always gonna be one of my top artists. And they said, oh, whatever. I said, oh, he been locked up since 2011.
Yes.
How did you figure out how to make music while even being incarcerated?
Oh, good question. Like I said, the first music I used to make was on an iPad. It was a small flat one about this high. You know that rectangular one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to make it on that, but the quality was fucked up. Because I figured out that the mattress that I slept on, I could use it as a sponge to what do you call it? Absorb the sound. Insulated. So that's when I figured it out. So I had to kneel down. On my bunk was like about this high. So I knelt down, wrapped the mattress over my head, recorded in the iPhone 5S. Right through.
Really?
And had the music playing in an earpiece in my, So I was recording
You from a different era because these artists now do punch-ins. They're punching all throughout. They can't do a full verse.
Oh shit.
You had to do all it. So wait, because you know how much time I listen to you at DJ, man, I say, yo, man, I hear nobody. I make no noise. It's no way you tell everybody, say, yo, everybody quiet down. Remember
actually listened for me as well. So if any officers is coming, so they would use something hard, like something metallic, and beat the bars. So you're kang. So you know, nigga, get up. And sit down.
Really?
Yes. One, because they check the muster. They come and check the cells, see how many people are there, and they write it down every morning and every evening. So they call it the muster check. Yeah, so sometimes I'll be recording and that is taking place. So they hit the other prisoners would hit the cell, and I would just have to jump up quick, put the mattress back, put the sheet on it, put the phone under the thing, and just sit.
You know what's so funny? So another artist who I think he's attempting to do what you did, but I really, and I talked to him too. I said it's Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez is incarcerated.
Yeah.
Tory Lanez put out some songs.
Yes.
And I said to Tory, Tory,
yes,
you locked up in a California, that's American prison.
Yes.
You know, I make a bunch. I said, yo, you ain't Cartel. That's what I told him. I told him, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how he did it yet, but he said, academics, you don't think I did this?
Yeah.
The next song I drop, I'm gonna rap about me being locked up.
Yes.
And he did.
Oh,
but again, when you did it, technology isn't this. Like right now, we recorded. We ain't bring two big
exactly.
cameras.
Yeah.
We got really small devices.
Yes.
So, was it hard to learn? Was it like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out like how you're trying to figure how you get over the humps of, you know, the warden or the jail official trying to come check you.
Yeah.
You have all type of noise. You're in an environment that's not good for recording.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then also, me here you DJ both song, both party and gal. Like yo there. I'm like, all right,
bro.
Some people believe that being incarcerated is more mentally than it is physically.
It is mental, but things like Buckshot.
Fever's in jail.
Yeah, in jail.
Really?
The entire album. They were like, even the guys in prison were like, bro, how the fuck you amongst so many of us, obviously men, and you still can meditate about, like, how the fuck do you do that? Yes, a lot of them, I don't know, it had to be done. Remember, necessity is the mother of invention. So it had to be done. I'm an artist and I have to do what I have to do.
Is the
mother of invention, man.
Wow.
If it's not necessary, why the fuck would we invent it? So it was necessary for me to find a way. And that's what I did. But it even amazed the guys in prison. They was like, wow, what the fuck? Big body girl side of me? There's no big body girl there. Like, how the fuck you come up with that? So it was crazy.
So, even that mentality to create that type of music.
Yes.
I mean, of course, it was shocking to everybody.
Yes.
And you're right. Like, if you know, you had to do it at that point.
Yes.
Did you ever think that, man, this won't connect?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Ooh, did you feel like you were somehow connected to the outside world?
Yes, because remember I had my phone, I was on Instagram, I watched party, we had, hell fucking yeah.
Yeah, y'all.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, I might be talking to Nicolati or
No,
something.
no, that's me right through, man.
Really?
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, that's me right through. I got the latest dances, like parties, everything. I wasn't missing out on anything except physically being there. That was my only limitation, my physical limitation. But everything, I had access to the world. You know what I mean? Full access.
You know, you are one of the pioneers in so many things. When we think about when you got incarcerated, from what I read, you can tell me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
You were shooting a reality show. Teacher Spec, right?
Teacher Spec, never been done before. That was crazy too.
These days, reality shows and how it relates and how it connects to music and hip hop.
Yes.
It's almost intertwined.
Yes.
What gave you the ability to see beyond the taboo, like certain stuff, like even certain argument or certain conversations you would bring to the music? You knew that society was eventually going to embrace, or you knew that the business was going to get there. Like, how did you get that foresight?
I mean, I was just singing my life, singing my truth. And I always tell people this. It's like, I don't remember if it was Einstein, like someone said to him, what is the secret to success? And he was like, just work harder than the next man. That's it. There's no magic pill. You know what I mean? I just speak my truth. If you don't like it, scroll on, swipe up. You know what I mean? So when I was singing even all those songs about freaky gal, and I'm just singing my truth. And at first, a lot of people bash me for it.
Jamaica is a very judgmental society.
I know. Shit, tell me about it.
Hey, put it like this. You see, these days, I live in America, right?
Yes.
So when I tell them certain things, I say, yo, I feel like I'm from, because I grew up here young, I say I'm from the old school Jamaica,
Yes,
where you get judged so much that you asking me that question if A, B, and C, that's disrespectful.
True.
But people are a little bit more progressive now. Some people feel like, you know, some to the detriment. They might be like, nah, Kartel get the youth them too freaky. And some people might be like, well, Vybz Kartel he's a visionary.
Yes.
Where do you fall in line with that? Because you're saying you're singing about your life, but you also realize when you said coloring book, you know, the same thing that Tupac and Wayne represented to hip hop in terms of embracing tattoos and certain type of conversations even about sex.
Yes.
That's you.
Yes, definitely.
So have you ever said, you know what, that might be my life.
Yes.
But I am Vybz Kartel.
Yes.
I shouldn't say this to the public.
No, I don't owe anybody anything. Like, I'm an artist. I don't even believe in censorship. This is what I mean. I am an artist, so I'm going to express myself because my art is an expression of my life, my experiences, whether first-hand or second-hand. And I experienced it in reality. So why can't I say it if I go through it? In other words, censorship should be done through the radio. If the song is dirty, don't play it on the radio.
Yeah.
Censorship should be done by the parent. If you don't want your kids to hear Vybz Kartel, don't play it in the house.
Do you still believe that? Because that was definitely, I remember you spoke in the university, and also I've seen you on many interviews. Your last, which I didn't think it's on the stage interview ever.
Yes, true.
You know, so you just do our next one. That might be the biggest
Well,
again.
you talk the one with the pink hat and the tall sleeve. Yes.
And what you said is that you believe that parents, this has been an age-long debate. It's happened in hip-hop and all over, all genres, that you believe that the parents should do their job to make sure what their kids are consuming.
Of course.
Do you still believe that? Given your influence?
Of course.
Because a lot of times, parents, and I'm playing a little bit of a devil's advocate, right?
Shit, I know.
So the parents are going to be like, well, listen.
Yes.
Well, the TV, the radio, the musicians, they do help parent because these days is a single parent home, and we have to go to work and we have to do this. So sometimes we might give them a game to play.
Yes.
And we hope the game is not telling them to go be a murderer.
Yes.
And we hope in the musician they ain't going to tell them to go bleach.
Yes.
But you're saying, hey, listen, well, if I got to be a parent and also be an artist, it doesn't match.
But it doesn't make sense academic because, like I said in that interview, if you want me to raise your child, you have already lost as a parent. You're a terrible parent. You shouldn't even have kids. You should be spaded and neutered. And I'm telling you, because think about this. I can bring my daughter here.
Yeah.
She's 17 years old. She can sing 1 million Kartel songs. Whether it's the gun lyrics, whether it's the X-rated songs.
She not sing freaky.
And she's a genius. She's not.
Will that reflect on you as a parent then?
No, but she's a genius. That means my job is done. My kids, none of them have ever been to prison. They're not gangsters.
Okay.
So I parent my child, and I leave everyone else to parent their child. That's all I'm saying.
That's valid.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Be a good parent to your child. My dad was an amazing father. My mother was an amazing woman. And I still did what I had to do. You understand?
Yeah.
So you gotta just raise your kids. Trust me. Because I never told anyone to bleach. I was bleaching.
Yeah.
And I sang about it. I never said go bleach your skin, children. I never did that. You know what I mean? So, and to be honest with you, Vybz Kartel fan base is one of the biggest in the Caribbean. So therefore the people in the world, so therefore the people who bleach, who listen to Kartel are a minority of my fans anyway. That's what I'm saying. You said it yourself.
I agree. No, I agree.
And you're not bleaching, and you're a big Kartel fan.
Yeah, I'm a big Kartel fan.
Exactly, and I don't see you bleaching.
No.
I don't see no tattoos in your face.
I have no tattoos
see
at
you
all.
shooting at anyone in the streets. That's what I'm saying.
Your music is always, and this is an interesting thing about art. It doesn't apply to like people who do performance art in terms of movies and acting.
Yes.
But it does apply to musicians.
Yes.
When someone says, kill them all undone,
Yes.
or
Yes.
now come for you in a broad daylight, right?
Yes.
Music like you have is so vivid
Yes.
that people almost believe it would be, to them, if that wasn't true,
Yes.
that would be the harder thing to believe, right?
Yes.
So some people do put more of a belief on what they hear from a musician than when they see from an actor.
I know.
Do you think that's wrong?
It is wrong because not all artists that sing about gangsterism are gangsters. So it's wrong.
We find out that in hip hop, a lot of them they doing all type of stuff.
Exactly. They're not gangsters. So that alone, that in and of itself makes the argument collapse on itself. You know what I mean? Oh, he does gangster songs, so he's a bad man. No. Art is a reflection of life. And I can sing about an experience that's not my experience. It's secondhand. You know what I mean? I always tell people, Bob Marley could be sitting right here beside me. And we're looking at two guys arguing. One takes out a gun and shoots the other one. Remember, Bob Marley and I both saw that. What would Bob say? Ghetto youth, put down the guns. What would I say? Kill them all undone. You see? We're looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
But we're expressing the scenario differently. That's all I'm saying. That doesn't mean I'm a gangster.
And I think...
Or not a gangster.
Yeah.
You understand? It's art, it's music.
That, a lot of artists aren't intellectually able to explain their art. They're able to express it but not explain it.
Yeah, true.
And I think that puts you as a one of one in that category. Okay. I don't know if you answered the question earlier, but I wanted a direct answer.
Yeah.
You spent 13 years in prison.
Yes. Shit.
I'm agreeing with you that I believe that, in a sense, you were a political prisoner. Despite what they said they locked you up for.
Yeah,
you were someone who threatened the system and threatened the status quo.
Listen.
Do you actually believe?
Yes.
Or not believe? Well, do you regret that? Because again, you miss a lot of time with your kids,
Yes,
family.
Yes.
And we're glad you're free now, but
Yes.
do you now look at it and be like, what was the point?
No, I can't regret it. I can't regret it. Because like I said, I'm alive and I'm free. Who knows what would have happened had I not got
Okay, you did
arrested that
actually,
day.
yeah.
Yeah, I did. So it is what it is, you know what I mean? Same reason why I always tell people that I have to always give Bounty Killer his props. Even though a lot of people said you would have still become famous. But we don't know that.
Yeah.
We don't live in a multiverse as far as I know. So the universe we live in, Bounty Killer gave me the opportunity. So we have to work with what we see and what we live. So now I'm free. I can never have regrets. I don't know, maybe if I didn't get arrested, I would have fucking crashed in a car somewhere and died. Who knows? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a phase of
life is life, man. Life is life. We live.
Do you look at any of the previous feuds? Because before you got incarcerated, it felt like you were also someone who were taking on the industry. And,
Yes.
and it appeared that way to us because it felt like you had
because
more,
it was.
it felt like you had more people who were enemies or people
Yeah.
who were,
True that.
going against you than for you.
True that.
I've seen you come out, but I haven't seen you really particularly take aim at them.
Yes.
Is it because you realized the fight is just much bigger, or you just don't care anymore?
I don't care, man. Like I'm making so much money since I came out and I haven't even done one show. You know how deep that is? See, he even teaches you have to look because he knows. Like, what's the point? Like, I'm good. We good over here. You know what I mean? So I'm just living my life, enjoying my life, enjoying the fruits of my labor in a real way. Because remember, before I got arrested, we were just up and down. We just moving. I never cared much about nothing. You know what I mean? But now, maturity has given me a different outlook. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you about a few people. I hear Poppy finna touch Freedom Street.
Popcorn, yeah, me and him was literally in the club last night.
Really?
Yeah.
How's that relationship mature? Because obviously, the world fell in love with both you guys when, how you get that new clock, Sadati?
Yes,
and then
yes.
obviously, the whole Gaza thing turned into like this whole movement. And,
Yes.
but if people have been following, it's gotten a little tricky at times. What is the current status? And, you explain how that relationship went.
I mean, me and Popcorn I've always had a good relationship. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, there are times when we didn't speak and, we're human beings, so we have our issues, but I mean, they're resolved and we good now. I mean, definitely we good. Ja Vinci, the same thing, not nice. I mean,
really?
Yeah, Gaza Slim, Gaza Indu, they're all gonna be on the show tomorrow.
Oh, that's going to be
Yes,
amazing.
it's gonna be crazy, bro.
What about Movado? Like,
I wish he was. If I called up Movado on stage tomorrow night, shit, we have to build a new stadium the next day.
What's you guys' relationship like? Because so many people look at you guys, it's like, that's the Drake and Kendrick of
Yes.
dancehall.
Yes.
Obviously, we got to give credit to Bone T and Beanie, but like,
Yes.
when it came to the contemporary,
Yes.
that's like Drake and Kendrick in a sense.
Yeah, we did it, man. Trust me, we really did it. We did the feud, and it made us immortalize in dancehall as bona fide legends. And I mean, I guess that's why we now have a mutual respect and admiration for each other.
I thought it had got too far that maybe,
Yeah.
because it's a lot of times with these feuds and battles, they're like, when I first seen Bone T and Beanie
Yes.
go on stage together, and it was
Yes.
like a reunion thing.
Yes.
It was like, well, you know what? At least from what the public knows, this and third, nobody ain't died,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
ain't
yeah,
happened,
yeah.
and it's easier. And
Yes.
that's also the thing in hip hop too, where it says, well, Meek and Drake, they could come together because there wasn't a bunch of somebody didn't get a shot on one side or whatever.
Yes.
How did you look at that? Because I remember Yadawari and Jelena.
Yes.
So we looked at you and you said some of the worst things. He said some of the worst things.
Sure.
You guys were in one of the biggest clashes, but you guys have always been, it's yin and yang when it comes to this dancehall stuff.
True.
How did you guys maintain that to be able to say, no, I could respect that guy because we're still surviving, we're still standing?
I mean, but you just answered the question. That's where the respect come from. because we're still here. We did it, and we became giants. We became columns in dancehall. So we immediately developed that dream, so to speak. And I mean, it's like soldiers on the battlefield. Yeah, I'm out to kill you and you out to kill me, but there's still room.